If you're thinking about updating to iOS 26.6, stop for a second and watch this video first, because honestly, this update is probably not what most iPhone users were expecting. A lot of people saw the version number and assumed Apple was introducing major new features, new AI tools, or huge changes to Siri, but that's not really what iOS 26.6 is about. So today I'm going to explain exactly what changed, what didn't change, and whether you should update right now. First, let's get the biggest question out of the way. Does iOS 26.6 include major new features? The answer is not really. Most reports suggest that Apple is using iOS 26.6 primarily as a maintenance update focused on bug fixes, security improvements, performance optimization, and system stability, rather than introducing major new user-facing features. In fact, Apple is already focusing heavily on iOS 27, which means iOS 26.6 is more about refining the current system than reinventing it. There are a few small changes worth mentioning. One addition discovered in the update is a notification that appears if a user reaches the extremely high limit of blocked contacts, something most people will probably never encounter, but it is technically a new feature. There are also indications that Apple is working on additional theft protection features, including technology designed to help secure an iPhone if it's suddenly snatched from a user's hand. Beyond that, most of the work appears to be happening behind the scenes, with Apple focusing on security patches, system fixes, and overall reliability improvements. Now let's talk about performance, because this is where things get interesting. Some beta testers reported that iOS 26.6 feels smoother than previous releases, particularly when navigating the interface and switching between screens. However, other users have reported that some long-standing bugs are still present, especially in beta versions, which isn't surprising considering these builds are still being tested. That's why many people are asking, should I update immediately? If you're running the public stable version of iOS and your iPhone is working perfectly, there's usually no reason to rush, especially if you're considering installing a beta version. Software can contain bugs, battery issues, app compatibility problems, and unexpected glitches, even when the final release is close. On the other hand, if you're interested in getting the latest security improvements, bug fixes, and maintenance updates, the final public release of iOS 26.6 will likely be worth installing once Apple officially rolls it out. Now, let's be honest. The biggest reason many people are paying attention to iOS 26.6 is because they're hoping for huge Siri upgrades or major AI improvements, but most of those expectations are now focused on iOS 27 rather than iOS 26.6. So, if you're expecting a completely new iPhone experience, you may end up disappointed. This update is much more about polishing the existing system than adding flashy new features. So, to summarize, iOS 26.6 mainly delivers bug fixes, security updates, performance improvements, stability enhancements, a few minor new protections, and some small system changes. But it does not appear to be the massive feature update many users were hoping for. Because honestly, before you rush to hit that update button, it's important to know exactly what you're getting. And in the case of iOS 26.6, what you're not getting.